How you doing, guys? ZDEyE here. So today I wanted to discuss quite a controversial topic that I will be getting at. In fact, more of a positive light. I'm sure a lot of you will disagree with me, but I wanted to clarify why this is the case. Like you can see by the title of this video, I actually agree with Rockstar abandoning Red Dead Redemption Online, even abandoning the next generation version of the Red Dead Redemption 2. Now, to be honest with you, like if you have been following my channel, you already know that I was quite disappointed to see that Red Dead Redemption 1 and also Grand Theft Auto 4 would not be getting a remaster anytime soon. In fact, they may have been completely abandoned. But because, well, it's been clarified that Rockstar have been putting most of their time and effort and resources and the developers into Grand Theft Auto 6. And you know what? All power to them. In fact, I would rather them putting all the time in the world putting into Grand Theft Auto 6 so they can release it on time. Of course, you know how they like to do the development and stuff like that. As soon as they announce the date, make sure just they'll say something like it's coming in 2024. Okay, it's never happening. It will be coming in 2025 instead, because Rockstar are pretty notorious of actually always delaying their games every time when they announce it for the very first time. And as such, basically, when they do announce this game, and when Grand Theft Auto 6 is actually considered to be one of the very ambitious games now, and Rockstar is painfully aware of this as well, and as such, that's the reason why they need a majority of the time to be put into the next game, Grand Theft Auto 6. And of course, I'm sure a lot of you will say that it's quite unfortunate, it's very sad the way they have abandoned Red Dead Online, Red Dead Redemption 2, because it made so many sales. But again, if you make a counter argument to that, it is quite easy. Well, they made more money with Grand Theft Auto 5. And a lot of people, and I've seen this in my comments as well, saying, like for example, well, of course Grand Theft Auto 5 will be far higher in terms of sales. First of all, it came out back in 2013, re-release on PlayStation 4, re-release for the PlayStation 5, re-release for the PC, and many other platforms, and as such why it received so many sales. But I want to ask you a question. Why that is the case? Because Rockstar can see the money where it wants to be, right? Where these games wants to be. Obviously, it's going to generate a lot of sales. Grand Theft Auto Online, that's the reason why it receives so many updates, because people are buying shark cards. They're buying things inside Grand Theft Auto Online because it's so damn popular and so well, you know what, I'm gonna say it. It is a very good game mode, like for online, even though it's very, very scummy. I've got sick of it. I'm not playing it anymore. I've been playing it since 2014 till like maybe sometime around 2015. Then I completely abandoned it. As soon as I got the platinum trophy for Grand Theft Auto 5, like I totally was done with the game. Like I had my time, I had my fill with it, and I wanted to move on, and I did. Red Dead is the similar situation. As soon as I got the platinum trophy, I completely abandoned the game, and I'm never coming back to it. I know that for a fact. In fact, if the game gets a next generation patch and it will be 60 FPS and all that good stuff, perhaps we'll try it out for I don't know, for a week or so, but I'm not gonna replay the whole game again just for the 60 FPS patch. I would need something like an expansion, a DLC. But now with the Rockstar, and there have been conversation that they're actually moving on to the next game, Grand Theft Auto 6. Obviously, it makes sense why they will be concentrating a majority of time into Grand Theft Auto 6, because that's where the money is at. It makes sense. Now, sure, it is also quite anti-consumer. It's also means that they're completely abandoning all the players that were very dedicated to Red Dead Online, in some degree even Grand Theft Auto Online as well. And as such, a lot of people are going to be very, very angry about that. It's easy for me to say that I don't care because I don't play those, right? But also I can definitely see a lot of you will be quite upset about this. I definitely do. There could be also a counter argument for Rockstar. What if they just simply split up their developers a little bit more? Say like one of the half of developers, one studio could have been working on the remasters for Grand Theft Auto 4 and also Red Dead Redemption 1. Other studio, or the developers I should say, could be working on Red Dead, the next generation patch for the Red Dead Redemption 2. And last but not least, of course, it could have been the Red Dead Online, right? And as such, there's just always can be sorts of counter arguments. But again, as we know how Rockstar likes to develop their games, they're putting all hands on deck. All the developers are working on one game. Now, again, I'm not going to say as if it's truly that is the case, because I'm sure somebody out there, and maybe like a skeleton core or something like that, like very low amount of developers are concentrating on their Grand Theft Auto Online. Maybe some are looking after Red Dead Online so it runs well. It's just if there would have been no unforeseen circumstances. But you know, I would definitely agree with you to say that I definitely would like to see Rockstar actually split up the studio and work on other things as well. But again, like I said, look forward to Grand Theft Auto 6, and as long as they put more time and effort into the single player mode, this means that we will have far more fill for ourselves. Because get ready, Grand Theft Auto 6 is going to be one of those games once bloody damn again that's gonna get re-released, and then until another decade we will finally see Grand Theft Auto 7. See, like, this is just getting ridiculous, and as such, I mean, they see the money, they're milking the shit out of it, you know, with the Grand Theft Auto series, and the IP is super phenomenal, like even far greater than Red Dead Redemption. This is why they're moving to the next Grand Theft Auto, and they're pretty much abandoning Red Dead Online. And as such, I'm sure, like I said, a lot of you are going to be disappointed by this news, maybe even not agree with me, but these are just the facts. The numbers speaks quite big volumes in this case. Even though you don't like what they're doing, that's not really up to you, is it? It's all up to them, it's all up to higher ups. Perhaps maybe a lot of the developers would love to actually make expansions for single player, make some extra content and extra updates for the online modes, perhaps maybe continue on with the expansions of Grand Theft Auto 5, but at this point it's been a decade with Grand Theft Auto 5. Also Red Dead Redemption 2, in terms of the sales, it did not surpass the expectations that Rockstar had, and perhaps they did, because don't get me wrong, Red Dead Redemption 2 was phenomenal, not just the game, but in terms of the sales. But if you compare those, such as the Red Dead Redemption 2 and Grand Theft Auto 5, it's just, you know, there's a big difference. It makes sense where Rockstar would rather put all their resources and time into. This is why Grand Theft Auto still receives so many updates even when Red Dead was already released, and why Red Dead has been already abandoned, because as long as they concentrate on one game, such as the Grand Theft Auto more popular IP, then that's where the money is going to come in at. That's where people are going to be coming in and, you know, enjoying their time, of course, as well. I know it completely sucks, but that's just my thoughts in here. I wanted to sprinkle in. Alright guys, do let me know what you think about this news. Of course, I know you'll be very disappointed. A lot of you may not even care. Personally, for me, like I said, I don't really care with the abandoning the Grand Theft Auto. Well, I hope they abandon Grand Theft Auto Online as well. Like, I feel like, you know, if they release Grand Theft Auto 6 and Grand Theft Auto 6 Online version of that, obviously they're gonna abandon Grand Theft Auto 5 version of Online. Anyway, that's just me, because I've been done with the game, so perhaps like that's why I'm moving on. But it's not to say the same thing for you guys, perhaps that you had not your fill, like you hadn't had your fill yet. So I cannot argue, can I? Alright, like and subscribe. See you guys all. Have a wonderful day.